I rise today as the chairwoman of the Latino Caucus in support of repealing Prop 209. We have always been unanimously supportive in our desire to have this proposition repealed. And the reason is quite simple. If you look around our caucus, we knew that a vast majority, except for our very youngins, we all benefited from affirmative action. We knew that. In fact, everybody on this floor who is a woman, a person of color, a Native American, a Latino, an African American, a Filipino, and is over the age of 40, benefited from this program. Whether it was your own personal story like mine, having the opportunity to attend Stanford University. I was just somebody who had never set foot on a college campus, coming from a family who had never dreamed that their children could go on to a school like that. And if it weren't for the ability to have a second look, because diversity mattered, because my story mattered to the admissions officer, I would have never been able to attend Stanford, to go on to prove myself at Georgetown University, and eventually go on to a full ride scholarship at UCLA Law School. But when I was at that law school, my first year, they repealed Prop 209. And I also saw what happened to the next generation of law students, to the next year of law students. And we saw a class go from being incredibly diverse, completely qualified, really robust in our discussions, to one that lacked almost a single Black or Latino student. It was devastating not just to the students who maybe didn't have that opportunity, but devastating to the entire student body that didn't have the ability to learn from each other. Systematic racism didn't stop because of 209. People didn't stop being prejudiced. They didn't stop treating children differently who came from often poor communities of color. Teachers didn't suddenly think that you had the same abilities as maybe your upper middle class white schoolmate. You didn't suddenly get expected to go into honors classes and do your best because Prop 209 was pulled back. We can't create color blindness, and it doesn't exist. And so what we've seen over these generations is the missed opportunity of so many kids in our communities who haven't had the benefit that we all had. And as a result, we're seeing even increased systematic racism. When people don't have the opportunity to go to college and have this diversity, even if you're white, that hurts you too. It hurts the entire process and gets us into a situation, quite frankly, like we're in today. I've been really flabbergasted by everything going on, I think like we all are, and watching the frustration, especially of young people in our communities of color, really just reaching out to try to change things right now, taking to the streets. And we have the opportunity to help them change things here, to correct a misguidance that we thought by repealing our one form of equity would put us in a better spot, and it hasn't. So we're asking to give opportunity to everybody, to once again open it back up, to allow us an opportunity, whether you're a woman, a person of color, an underrepresented minority, to have that taken into account as one of many factors when you're otherwise qualified to get a government contract or to get into a school. It's important to us. And our Latino caucus is proud to stand shoulder to shoulder with our Black caucus in asking for an aye vote on ACA 5.